Welcome to the fourth part of the Facebook header builder tutorial using Xpro's header builder. Today I'm going to make the profile picture and also the profile name. We can see that in this particular portion here, and then we're just going to stick a little button just below it. That will give us our learn more section as it's set up on my actual Facebook page for Fat Lad Food. So let's begin. So I'm going to go into here, profile. I'm going to add a container, and then I'm going to add an image because I want to get this particular part of it made in. You see the image here. I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to select my image, which I've already dropped into my media bay. I'm just going to let that load in. You can see it's cut off because of the size of the bar, and I don't necessarily want this to be at 200 by 200. I want it to be a little bit smaller. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on scaling, and it's going to scale the image down, and now you can see it's at its normal and proper size, and it now fits within the profile bar itself. The next part we're going to move on to is the text. Go back to layout. I'm going to create a new container, and then I'm going to add in a text box. I'm now going to click on the text box in order to change this particular set of text. So you'll see that here. We get a nice little WYSIWYG editor up, just the normal TinyMCE. I'm just going to put in Fat Lad Food as it is on the website. It should then begin to update, and you'll see it's stuck away over here somewhere. Which I don't necessarily want or need. So I'm now going to go back into the container, and I'm going to change some of the flex layout stuff and change this to start, and I'll pull it the whole way right back so that it's next to it. Vertical, I'm going to go start as well. The main thing about this is a little bug here. I've obviously typed in the right text, but the full text hasn't actually come up, as you can see. We'll do it again and see if we can get it to load in differently. And as we can see, it's loaded in correctly now. The next part of it is the @Fat Lad Food below. So I'm going to look at that, and then we're going to sort out the styling in between here by changing some of the box properties. So we'll go back to layout, container again. I'm going to add an additional piece of text. I'm going to click on here, let it load in. As you can see, it's patted it and dropped it straight in there. I want to change this to Fat Lad Food, and we can see again, for some reason it seems to have this bug, and now it should be changed incorrectly, but you'll note they're next to each other. Don't necessarily want that to be the case, so I want the container that this particular text is held in to be a different layout. So I'm going to go to the container, I'm going to click in here, and I'm going to go to flex layout, and you'll see here I'm going to click on column, and bang, they automatically become next to each other from there. Okay, so the next thing that we'll want to fix is the spacing issue, because they're stuck right next together. What I've done is I've gone into the container, I believe, yeah, and what I'm going to do now is change the margins. So I'm going to change that to 5, and that should space it all out quite nicely, and it will now look exactly the same as this, bar a few bits and pieces in relation to the font itself. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a button to the next layer. I'm going to go back into layout. I'm going to go down to here, and we can see profile. I'm just going to select bar 6. I'm going to change it to button, and we're going to put a button into this. So we're going to click on container, and we're going to add the next module, which in this case is a button, as expected, given that that's what we're trying to achieve. And as you can see, the button is here. However, we're going to want to make some changes to that button in order for it to fit in with what we're looking for. Background, again, as expected, I want that to be the normal Facebook color background, and also then we want to ensure that everything is set up correctly from a button perspective. So let's get down to the text. I want to change the text to white, completely white. I'll do so by this. and we can see that that is now changed correctly. But again, we want to change the interaction type as we have done previously. Okay, and that's it fully set up. I want to take away some of the drop shadow because we don't need it, so I'm going to do that now. We're changing this to transparent, and that removes it completely. Now I want to go to the actual button itself. Okay, so what we want to do now is make this full length of this container. How we're going to do that is actually going into the container itself. As you can see, we're here. Just going to change some of the flex properties here. I'm going to change this to start. I'm going to change this to stretch. And as you can see, that stretches it horizontally. Am I right? Wrong. Vertically. If I click on column, we can see it automatically changes it back. So we'll do horizontal to stretch, and that'll give us a fully stretched out button as we expected it to do. And that's how we can build in a button from there. If you want to have a graphic in there, we'll just click into the button. We'll go to graphic, and then we can set up a new graphic by enabling it from here. And you can see it'll give us the opportunity to choose one. And we're going to do that here. I'm just going to do pencil for this because I believe if I remember rightly it was pencil. And we'll click on this. It'll load in, and we will change its color to white. And same here. And as we can see, we now have the Learn More button, which is exactly what we expected to have. We'll click here, and here it is right here, apart from the fact that the font styling is slightly different.